we see the community of Fort English, an Eskimo community nestled on the shores of Canada's Hudson's Bay. For hundreds of years, this northern fur trading post guarded the interests of empire against the depredations of the French. Now it's a station that defends our country by watching for commie bombers sneaking over the North Pole to destroy our way of life. But for many of the local Eskimo, life is changing too. Instead of living on the land, moving from place to place, the government is building houses and a real community for these ancient residents of the North. But the old ways don't die easily. Here we see Father heading out to get supper, but he's not going to the store. With his trusty rifle, he heads out on the ice and bags a fat seal. He'll bring that home to the family, and Mother will cook the meat on her new stove. Or will she do it the old-fashioned way? But it's not just food she'll get from the seal. Seal fat burns in the traditional Eskimo lamp to keep the family warm, and she'll use the pelt from the seal to make clothing for the little ones. The girls watch her attentively, learning their womanly skills, while the boys are outside learning to hunt with their father. It might be cold outside, but in this small northern home, everything is warm and cozy.
I left the city. I don't really know why. I guess I just got tired of it. So I was able to leave my job and I came up here. Fort English. It's one of the most isolated places in the country. It seemed like a good place to go. I don't know why. I found it interesting. You know, I did some research, and there is a higher percentage of unexplained paranormal events around this community than anywhere else in the country. You wouldn't know it from looking at the place. It's unremarkable. It's a small Arctic community. The land around it is flat. It's at the mouth of a river. There's nothing here. I remember the first time I arrived here and driving from the airport into town and just seeing this great expanse of land opening up around me. Land that had been beaten down by glaciers over millennia, and it just seemed open and cold. But this is where I came. I'm really lucky. I was able to find a place to stay. I was able to rent a little apartment from this old couple who, I guess, their kids had left and they needed the money. But so I've got a place to stay, and I don't do much. I go down to the cafe in the morning and I have some breakfast and I catch up on the news. I try not to pay too much attention to the news. It all seems to be bad. And then I answer some emails. Usually it's one of my sisters or something asking about Mother. But there's no point thinking about that. I just have to kind of keep focused on being here. English Harbour, though. English Harbour is interesting. It used to be a fur trading post. There's an old English fort just outside of town. The stone and mortar, back in the 18th century they built it. It's amazing. But frost heave and just the elements have destroyed it. So it's a pile of rocks. But it's still really kind of different than anything I've ever seen before in my life. And the whole town is kind of odd.